So Lenka's here today, and Lenka is going to be part of a Wake Festival coming up. Well, she's part of a Wake Festival, but she's also doing a deep dive, which is a day-long retreat here in beautiful Evergreen, Colorado. And Lenka's is going to be all about breath in nature, maybe a little stretching and getting energy going in our bodies. And it's June 25th up here in Evergreen. So I just wanted to get Lenka on today to talk a little bit about what's it going to be like to come practice with you this June. Well, later this month.
I know it's coming up so quickly. I'm so excited too. Oh my goodness, I've been looking forward to this. And we're just going to experience the stretching will be actually to waking up our lymphatic system. And that's just a wonderful way to start your morning, pretty much. And then we'll dive into the functional breathing, which is a wonderful way that just learn about our breath in general, because we forget or we just take it for granted, right? And we think, okay, we were born with, breathing, right? So what's the big deal about it? But we'll get to learn how important it is to find out how functional we breathe throughout our day, like 24/7, and how important it is to pay attention to our breath and just see it as a key or like the guide through our everyday living, and just being able to notice it and knowing that if you can hear yourself breathing, that you know that you're out of balance. And so that's one of the keys. And it's not only when you're being active, but also when you're just doing your everyday, either if it's grocery shopping or just even talking, any activity, anything, even when you're just sitting, paying attention to our breath and how much it just means and how it changes. If you find out, how functional it is, then it just affects our sleeping, the energy we have throughout the day, the mood we're in, even our digestion, it makes impact on that, how healthy or like how our immune system, how healthy it is. And so there's so much, even when you're doing some heavy exercising, or like I hike a lot. And so like it recovers your muscles a lot faster. So it takes time, but we all breathe, right? So it's just one little step to do to better your life.
Cool. So breathing well has so many benefits. So maybe I could be your guinea pig. Like, I was just excited to get online with you, and I'm feeling a little like stuck in my chest around my breath. Maybe can you teach me, or teach everyone, like, how would you like check in with your breath, and how do we want to be breathing?
So it's a longer conversation, but like a one quick thing, if you find yourself, like you were saying, you feel stuck in your chest, or if you're driving and you'll see accident, or you have to step on the brakes really quickly, right? Or you get frightened, something you saw got you in that sympathetic mode, the stressful mode. The very quick technique, and now I want to say the techniques are wonderful, but when you learn about how to breathe every minute, every second of your life, it's a little bit different. So the techniques are wonderful, but we cannot expect that they're going to change the situation or change our life. But since we're talking about something that quick that you can do in situations like this, the wonderful or the best way is that you take a breath through your nose. And it doesn't have to be deep. It's actually what you want to do is you don't even want to hear yourself breathing. And so you take a breath through your nose. And then when you're exhaling, you actually exhaling through your mouth, but with your teeth together. So you almost like a seeping it through. And you exhale longer, because we always want to exhale longer, then we inhale. Inhale, it's activity that gets us into sympathetic mode, which is the stressful mode. So to even it out and balance it, we want to do exhale longer. But the exhale, it's to the point where you exhale and you want to inhale in like a slowly. It's not that you exhale and you almost like fall over and you have to take a deep breath to catch up. It's pretty much that you exhale till you're comfortable, and then you do it again, and you can, so it's like this. And you go as long as you feel it's comfortable, and then do it again. And you can do it a few times, maybe 5 times, but that should get you your heart rate like slowing down and get you into relaxation mode. And it triggers the brain to think that nothing happened, that everything is okay.
Oh, yeah, I could feel the difference pretty much right away. I've heard that, right? We're supposed to have ideally a longer exhale than the inhale.
Yes.
So by having the teeth together, it forces you to kind of slow down the exhale.
Exactly. Yes.
And you shouldn't hear your breath, so real gentle.
Very gentle. But that's like with this one, you'll hear it because you're seeping and you're basically exhaling through your mouth, where the functional breathing, what we'll be learning is about how to inhale and exhale, and it actually goes into your core, and instead of when you're lifting your shoulders or that you're breathing into your lungs, it's all about the core. And so yeah, but this is just a quick technique to use anytime you feel stressed, or it's you can do it even before you ready to eat, to kind of check in and see, okay, what mode am I in? Like, do I feel stressed out, or do I have a lot on my mind? And this would be like a wonderful way to calm yourself down and then start eating. Because if you're eating in a stressful mode, then you're not digesting, you're not doing yourself a favor, and it's just, yeah, it's not beneficial. Even if you eating the healthiest food and you're in a stressful mode, it's really, you're not doing anything for yourself.
Got it. So when you come up for the deep dive in Evergreen, we have this beautiful streamside cabin. I heard we might get in the water a little bit for your retreat, June 25th. What's that about?
Yes, for those who feel like they would love to try, because it's something so wonderful. And I know that a lot of people hear about cold dips. And I've been doing cold dips for about, I'd say, 2 years now. And so I know how beautiful feeling that is when you come out of that cold water. And it's just, if you want to feel that you were born again, how it feels, then this would be it, just to get in. And I will guide you. I want to make it safe. I always say that anything that you do, you should be doing with love, with knowing why you want to do it, and safely. Not doing it because someone said, it's a great thing and do it now. You should always listen to your body. And so like on the June 25th, if you feel like this is it and you want to just experience something beautiful and new, then I'll be there, and we'll be doing a breathing technique before we get in. We'll do a stretching before we get in, so we can move that adrenaline into our bodies, and we're ready to go in. And then once we just dip, it will be a beautiful experience. It will take 2 minutes, maybe even shorter, because it's not a good thing if you stay in cold water longer, and there's no benefits. And I'll teach you all about that too. Why is it not beneficial to just stay there for longer and longer, and do it because you want to hit a certain number, or that you want to jump in because you're ego says that, oh, I conquered something. I want you to feel like you did it for yourself, that it brought you back to yourself, that in that water you let go of everything, and there will be no thoughts because you'll be in a cold water and all you can feel it's you and the water. And then when we come out, we'll stretch again because there's another like a few things that people don't know about. When they come out, usually they try to put clothes right back on because right, you feel cold. But that's why we'll do a movement, and we're gonna do the movement while we're in our bathing suits. And because as soon as you put clothes on while you get out of cold water, you basically closing your pores and you keeping the cold in, and that's why you start shivering. So you want to make sure that all the beauty and the your body is so full of energy, and I mean, it's like your blood flowing through the entire body, and you want to keep that going, right, and get like into every cell. And so you don't want to block it with your clothes. Once we do the exercise, then we'll put our clothes back on, like layer by layer. But there is a lot that goes into that people don't realize, and so I want to make sure that your experience is just wonderful.
Oh, cool. And I haven't got to do any like stretching or yoga yet today. Is there any chance you could show me or people watching just a little way to get in our bodies that we might maybe that we would do before the water or the cold water?
Well, that's so this one I won't be able to because it's connected to the breathing and it takes a little longer. There isn't we can, yeah, sure, we can stretch. Or why don't I take this outside and we can just maybe just walk barefoot on a grass and feel, or anything that you have around, if it's rocks or
I have a little grass. Yep.
So
Cool.
I'll go outside too.
All right, I have a little bit of grass over here.
I was actually, I think it stopped raining, but I was dancing in the rain yesterday when it was pouring. I was celebrating it because we don't get rain so much, right? So often. So I
It's been
just
like
got out.
Oregon around here lately. It's been amazing with all the rain.
It's so beautiful. Yes. Yeah. I'm enjoying
I took
it.
my shoes off. That already feels better.
There we go. So let's just walk together. And so when you're stretching and when you're breathing, just pay attention to your breath and try to, even with the stretches, it should be light, it should be soft, and into your core. And we'll learn more about, like, there will be techniques that we'll do to kind of feel the breath.
Okay.
But I don't want to say too much. I want to save something for our day. So I have my bare feet on the grass too, and it feels amazing. Let me just put this.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sun here. I noticed the difference. There's some shady spots and some sunny spots, and that feels like a mindfulness practice to me, to just feel into the temperature,
So that's one of the beautiful things. When you walk barefoot, you'll start noticing, right, the different even temperatures of the ground. And the different textures. And the more you do it, you'll start feeling the energy of the earth. And from my experience is that you will get drawn to what your body is needing. So if it's something soft, it comes and goes in phases. And sometimes you'll be craving rocks. Sometimes you'll be craving the mud. And it just reflects on your mood or what phase in your life you are.
Okay. Yeah, I have some pebbles over there. You walked on, and yeah, it brings a totally different sensation, right?
Yes, it does. Just like wet grass, just like snow, I mean, snow is beautiful too. And the more you do it, the more you'll be connected to nature, and you'll be seeing it from different perspective, and you'll be appreciating, and you'll be noticing a lot more. And that's another thing about the breath. When we'll go and walk around the creek to our place where we're gonna either dip our whole body or just feet in, we'll be learning also how to use our breath while we are active. And the breath is just a beautiful way to slow you down in any part of your day. And the same thing in a nature, because when we're running through the nature, we're not paying attention to the beauty that it's around us. And it's starting to rain again here. I better put the computer away. But when you paying attention to your breath while you're in nature, you start noticing things around you. You'll start noticing, oh, maybe there's a little bug that it's crossing, or you'll see a flower that you never seen before. You'll notice the branches on trees. You'll notice the smell. You'll start hearing birdies, and the breath is supposed to slow you down so you can live your life peacefully, that you can appreciate yourself for who you are and where you are. And really, my biggest thing for people and everyone is to slow down, to just listen to your heart, get out of your head, because there's so many thoughts coming through every single day. And by slowing down and listening to your breath, that's the way to go.
That's awesome that you say that. It's such a huge part of Awake Festival and the deep dives is just giving everyone permission to slow down. This world goes so fast, right? And people are always efforting to get more done, more is our culture. But maybe, when we get together for the day, it's less. We slow down, we tune into nature, and then you'll help us facilitate to relax the breath, so the nervous system settles. It sounds like, and then we really become more and more aware of all the aspects of nature. Is that
exactly? Yeah. By slowing down, it's so important, and we feel so guilty, right, to just take a nap even during a day, or we always feel like we have to do something. But when you slow down, and even if you take a moment, just like we did and walked around, if you go back to what you were doing and it wasn't going well, you stop the thought of not that it wasn't going right, or you weren't getting where you wanted to go. And when you come back, you'll just do it, because you have the new energy, and you just you're excited that you did something for yourself, and things just happen that much faster. So by slowing down, you actually can faster things too. And
that's good news for Americans, because right, we always want to be very productive. So ironically, though, one of our T-shirts at the festival is "We're human beings, not human doings."
Yeah.
So people get scared of, if I slow down and enjoy nature and relax more, I won't get anything done. But I agree, the opposite is true, because when we calm the nervous system and we're present, then you know what to do next, and you feel that sense of joy and excitement because you took good care of yourself, and then everything just flows. Like this massive festival I put together, some of it's been done from a place of doing over the years, and of a little like this, but more and more I really am practicing more, thanks to all you guys and all the teachers at Awake, that once I slow down and get present, then wisdom seems to guide me, and my work is actually so much more efficient.
Because it comes from your heart.
Powerful.
It's so beautiful. You are
The other way is like spinning your wheels.
Right. And so when you're going, you're going with your mind, right? When you slow down, it comes from your heart, and it will just bring that much more beauty. And the energy, it's so different, and people feel it. And I mean, energy is everything. It's,
Well, that was huge. So you said when we're maybe you didn't say it exactly this way, but maybe when we're not regulated and anxious or busy, that is of the mind thinking. And then, but you said if we slow down, I think I heard, and get regulated, you could say, then it more comes from the heart. And
yeah.
that's what we all love. We all love to be together in that heart space. And that's what makes a retreat beautiful, or the festival, or whatever we're up to in our practice, in our lives.
Yes, when you are in balance and everything comes out from your heart, it's the love, right? The love that you share and people feel it. And it's you being your true self. And that's the key to everything, to find yourself, to know who you are, and to keep discovering. And it's just this beautiful circle. Once you get on it, it keeps going. And that's what I love sharing. And there's so many different ways, but the most important thing is to always like say yes to life, make that step. Just do one step and continue and believe that you're on a beautiful path. And that's when the breath comes in too. You slow down. And by slowing down and practicing it every single day, you'll realize that those things that mattered to you before, now they lose. Like there is no point for them anymore because it's not a priority to you
That's
anymore.
Michael Singer's, one of my favorite teachers is Michael Singer, and he talks about that a lot. Like when you're in busy mind and not grounded or not present, then you think there's this huge to-do list. But once you're present and in your heart, then only like 5% of your huge list is actually necessary.
Is
We
that
because in the first state you think you have to do so much, but once you're being, you kind of feel into what matters, and it's not
exactly?
as nearly as much. It's so much more peaceful.
Yes, and that's when the simplicity comes in. The simpler, the better, right? It's as far as the simpler foods we put in our body, the less we breathe, that's beneficial too. There's also like not saying not to exercise, but not overdo it. Because usually when we're trying to do so much, there is a goal behind, right? There is something that you're trying to achieve and you go for it and you do it so hard that you're missing on all the beautiful things and the little things that are like life that's teaching you lessons. And when you just go because you want to hit certain number, or like certain, even losing weight, like people are so hard on themselves because they say I'm gonna lose this much by this time. And yes, you probably will, but then you are doing it just for that number. You're not doing it for yourself as the feeling of how it was the first day or the second day. What did I learn about myself? What are the foods that make me feel good or not? And more likely you'll come back to your old ways because you were depriving yourself of some sort of things. And it's with everything, even with exercise. Sometimes 5 minutes walk gives you more than if you go and spend an hour at the gym. Because when you do things with love and with excitement, then it gives you that much more than if you're going there because you should or I need to. So, yeah.
Oh my God, you're so full of awesome tips and advice on how to just be simple and happy and in nature. What's your training? I'm curious. Like how did you come to this place to offer what you offer?
It's that simple. I just said yes. You come to a point in life where I actually have a post ready. It's so funny how it's aligned with our conversation, but you come to a point in life where you are start asking yourself questions, right? Like, who am I? Why am I here? And do I like where I am? Is it fun for me where I am, and then you start questioning too, like, what can I do? Like, how I want to change. And as long as you make that step forward, really, and you believe that you want to be elsewhere, then you'll start practicing. And it takes everyday practice. And I have it didn't come all together. I started with green smoothies. That was my first step.
Which you bring to the festival in September. Thank you. The most
Yeah.
popular booth probably is the green smoothie booth. We had a line last year at your booth.
Oh, it was brilliant idea of yours that I felt like, oh, I just make them for myself, and I never really make it for, like, I make it for others, but not in a way as being in big surroundings of people. But that was my journey, that I started with smoothies, green smoothies, and then I felt the benefits. But it's the commitment, it's the continuation, like keeping it and doing it, right? Doing it every day and not going in with expectation, more noticing what is it doing, and not expect that the change will happen overnight, because life just, it's a journey, right, that we supposed to enjoy, and that's it. And it doesn't mean that when you get to a certain point you're done. There is more doors to
Like an
open.
unfolding.
It's unfolding it forever.
Slowly.
And I want, from my heart, I want everyone to find it and find the spark and feel what it is like to be you, because it's the most beautiful experience that you can ever, like, just tap into, and it keeps going. And yeah, I started with the smoothies, and then I've been always the nature person, but I started alone. Like, I would do more of hikes by myself. And that's what was my therapy. That was something where I knew that I'll get my answers. And then I start the breathing. And then it became to do the cold exposures, right? And again, everything has phases, just like food, activities, exercising, spirituality. You got to start somewhere, and you keep going, and everything keeps unfolding. And we're all in the different phases of our lives, right? So you can jumpstart and, like, think, oh, I'm gonna get there right now. We all need to do the little steps, because those are the beautiful things, right? That's life itself. And so I encourage everyone to, like, I inspire people by being me, by living the example. And I love my life so much. I enjoy every single day. And it doesn't mean that I don't have hard days or I don't cry. You see me smiling all the time, which I do a majority of time, but there's times too where I cry or I don't feel myself. But when you work on yourself, the more you do so, the easier it is to deal with things that come your way, because you don't dwell on them. You see them with different eyes. And it's so much easier and faster to just come out of that kind of thinking, low energy. So.
Right. Yes. Wow. What a gift to awake you are. I'm so happy you signed up to offer the deep dive on June 25th here in Evergreen. We'll have a nice day long, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to breathe. We're going to move. We're going to be with nature. We're going to get a cold plunge. And we provide a beautiful vegetarian lunch as part of the day. So that's included.
Yay.
And I'll get to guide a little bit of meditation in the morning, but mainly I'm just going to go over to you, Lenka, because your vibe is just off the charts good. So we want that. And just to wrap up what you just said, well, I mean, you said a lot, but the way I heard it was maybe something like, when we're younger, we just listen to culture, the way to be and how to do life. And then at a certain point, I'm a therapist when I'm not organizing these events. I see this every day in my office, probably. People realize they're just not fulfilled or happy. And they've been going from a script that's not theirs. So at that point, they kind of ask themselves, am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I, like, enjoying my life? Sometimes it's it's a divorce or a death or just an age thing, you know, they hit a certain point. And I'm always happy to see it, because at that point, that's like, if you've ever read the 4 Agreements, right? You realize you made all these unconscious agreements with culture that you don't even believe in, that don't even work. So then we throw those out the window. And then I think we start to really get into a daily practice, like you said. And something else I took away from what you said is, I think we all get trapped in like an endpoint, like we're going to get somewhere and get enlightened or awakened or whatever. And I think what I heard from you is patience. Go slowly. It's a journey. It's not about like getting somewhere maybe so much. And then that like there's no getting there. There's no endpoint. It's just going to be every day we get to do a little more, and that you model it. That's my last takeaway from what you said was, it's just being ourselves is what you're trying to teach us. You want everyone, it sounds like, to really enjoy being who they are and live their lives. Is that?
Because exactly, because if we all are ourselves, right, there is so much beauty and we all learning from each other. So it's not just for you as person, but it's for everyone. And once you can shine that light, that everyone can get a piece of it, it's the most beautiful thing that we can share. And that's something that, like, once you work on yourself, once you find that love for yourself, which it's so hard for so many, just to be kind to ourselves and telling ourselves, oh, I did something good today, or I was able to, I don't know, take a few moments for myself. Or we're more than anything, I'm noticing that we can pinpoint the wrong things, right? Or not only on
We
ourselves.
could be hard on ourselves, right?
Yes. Or even when you're walking around, a lot of people are concentrating on the, oh, this doesn't look good, or, oh, why these neighbors painted their house blue, for example, like, instead of noticing it a different way. And that's another way of learning. That's another practice, even how you using your words. Like, try to, like, for me, it was to not saying can't, or I should, or using word stop, or anything that starts with no, so it takes practice to flip it over. And where people get stuck is when it's not going fast enough, or it's not going their way. But just to notice that I did something and it didn't go well, and giving ourselves, like, okay, I'm learning and I can't get everything right. That's such a huge step that we don't celebrate. And it's like just being so kind to ourselves and saying, I love you. Look in the mirror and say, oh, I look beautiful. Or anything, my hair looks pretty today, or I'm so excited that I was able to do something that I planned. And we don't say it enough.
Oh, yeah, that's the number one thing in therapy I see is, the internal voice is so destructive and so mean. And then the other thing I think we could call what you were saying is the negativity bias, is the brain, because of millions of years of evolution of looking for danger, it notices the negative all the time. So we really have to train our brain to focus on all the beautiful stuff too.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And the more beauty you can give yourself, the more beauty you can give out, right, to others. I mean, we have it in us to help others, to inspire, to be kind. But if we're not kind to ourselves, if we don't love ourselves, how can we give it to others? What are we giving? It's what we have inside, right? So if we have anger inside, that's the energy that we're sending out. Anything, if we are overwhelmed, if we moms, I mean, we all want to just like care for all our kids and all our neighbors, but what about us? Like, we forget that, like, we are always number one, right? And it's not selfish. It is so beautiful to just take care of ourselves so we can be there for others. 100 and more than 100%. Like that's the cup. We keep filling it and then we can give, because we can't give from empty cup.
Awesome. Well, I feel complete if you do, Lenka. This has been amazing.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about
I-
everything. And the Awake, the workshop will be also on, I call it where are you wearing your shoes? And that goes back to what you were saying, that in a young age, we're basically doing what we were told, right? And we don't really know who we are. And so if you are wearing somebody else's shoes, or they're too tight, or maybe they're not the color that you like, but you're still wearing them, it is exactly to stepping in your own shoes, in my case, no shoes, and living life.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was wondering what your workshop title was about. That's fantastic, right? Are your shoes too tight?
Yes.
Like the cultural shoes we've been told to wear. Yeah, let's take those off.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I hope everyone comes and fills their cup on June 25th up here in beautiful Evergreen. Go to awakeexperience.com and click on deep dives. And then if you want to come to the festival, it's September 15th through 17th. And that's on the same website under Awake Festival. So thanks for all your time, Link. I really appreciate it today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Okay, we'll see you soon in person. I can't wait.
Okay, see ya. Thank you.